Gukesh Dommaraju beats Javokhir Sindarov and express his victory with a fist bump. World chess champion against the challenger, the matchup that everyone was waiting for after Javokhir Sindarov's great performance at Candidates 2026. Most chess fans, including us, believe that Gukesh has no chance against Sindarov. But here, Gukesh is proving everyone is wrong. And after Sindarov resigning the game, Gukesh Dommaraju, wait that he shows it with a fist bump. He expressed his victory like this. We never saw Gukesh like this. He usually don't show emotions like this. Maybe after his win against Ding Liren in the game 14 of the World Chess Championship match, we saw his emotional side. But he sit at the chessboard, he set up the pieces. But here he shows it with a fist bump. And he said that at the heat of the moment he felt like to do so for himself. And probably this is a message to Sindarov that Gukesh is saying the throne is mine and I'm not going to let you take the throne from me. And it also shows that Gukesh was under a lot of pressure because of his recent results and many critics. He was under a lot of pressure and he relieves this pressure with this win, and he was really happy with this fist bump. He shows that he was very happy after this game. Now let's go and watch what happened in this marvelous chess game. As you can see, Gukesh Dommaraju won this game with 92% accuracy. This is Grand Chess Tour, Super Rapid and Blitz in Warsaw. Round 5, Javokhir Sindarov is playing with the white pieces against Gukesh D, and he kicked off with pawn to e4. It's a rapid chess game, 25 chess game, and Gukesh responded with c6, the Caro-Kann defense. And in this game recap, I will also tell you Gukesh's analysis and his thoughts during the game, because after this game he had an interview and he explained his thoughts and his calculation during this game. So Sindarov goes with knight f3, and after d5 he plays d3. And also we can speculate that they are not showing their real preparations. They are playing lines that they usually don't play or they don't want to play in the World Chess Championship match. Queen to c7, black is trying to play for e5 in the center, takes, and this is why Sindarov tries to attack the center very soon, because he wants to prevent e5. Black goes for knight f6, protecting the center, knight c3, developing and attacking the center, and now black goes for e6. And after that, Sindarov goes with g3. He wants to fianchetto the bishop on the long diagonal. Bishop to b4, pinning the knight, and now we have bishop g2. D takes c4, and now the game heats up. The game goes into very tactical stuff. Sindarov goes for bishop f4, and World Chess Champion plays queen to a5. And it seems like they are out of prep right now, because Sindarov has 21 minutes and Gukesh only with 20 minutes. In this position, maybe even castle is possible, but Sindarov takes on c4, takes on c3, takes queen c3, and knight d2. So basically, he sacrificed the pawn. Black has one more pawn in the center, but look at these bishops, look at these two b's. Not like this, of course. The fianchetto bishop and the brother of the fianchetto bishop on these diagonals attacking the queen side. It seems very dangerous, but Gukesh kept his nerves and he just played e5. He just closed this one. And in this position, white could have sacrificed the bishop with the move castle. And if you're going to take here, then we have rook e1 check. And after this, it will be very difficult, because after king here, we have knight d4 and queen d8 is coming. That's the reason. But okay, Sindarov goes for rook c1, just attacking the queen. He goes back, and then he goes bishop g5. This is also good enough for white. But Gukesh also attacks the queen, bishop to g4. He develops a piece with attacking the queen. And here Sindarov goes wrong. But it's very difficult to find the best move in this position. He plays queen to c2, but it allows black to just simply develop with knight c6 to d4, or just to develop. But the critical move is queen b3, which was the best move. But the reason Sindarov didn't play this move is knight d7. Now I cannot castle because d2 is hanging. And what am I supposed to do? I cannot also take on b7 because rook b8 is coming, and then castle, and this pin exists all the time. But the move that he should have saw after he played queen c2 to protect the knight, he should have saw queen b3, and after knight d7, this move, queen to b5. It's very difficult to offer the trade of queens when you're pawned on. But the idea is that white cannot take it, because after c takes b5, b7 is hanging, And rook here is also coming. If you go rook here, still bishop takes b7 because you cannot take back because of rook c8. So b7 is going to lose. That's, I think, what both players missed, but it's very hard. Only probably engines can solve this kind of moves. And Sindarov goes for queen c2, but now Gukesh plays knight c6. Now the pawn is not hanging anymore. And after castle, black won a pawn. Of course, you can take on f6, but there is no such thing as checkmate in this position because black at any position can put the bishop back to here. And there is not so much pieces to attack this king also. So bishop takes f6 doesn't work. In this position, he goes for h3 to attack the bishop, but the bishop finds a better place actually. Bishop on e6 attacking here also. Bishop takes f6. Finally, Sindarov plays this. He wants to have some compensation and he goes for knight d4. So he sacrificed the pawn. Now he tries to attack the king, but king to g7. King defends his loyal pawns. Like by king g7, black is defending everything. So white goes for the attack with f4. He just wants to open up lines. He wants to take on e5 to play f5. This is white's compensation, but Gukesh is not afraid. In this game, he shows that I am not afraid, and he plays just pawn to f5, and after knight g5, he just plays pawn to e4. He says if you want to take, you can take. You're most welcome to take. I will just put a rook on f7, and queen will come back to the game, and black is completely winning because this bishop is just locked down. So queen to b2 check, that was the plan, and here black just goes king g8. Of course, you can come with queen f6, but after that, queen d8, I'm going to chase your queen. And if you go to h6, then queen d4 check, very important maneuver, queen to g7, defending everything. And now you have to trade queens, and in this position, you are a pawn down, and black is going to win this game. He has a passer on e5, so that's not possible. So queen f6 to go for checkmate, and this kind of attacks doesn't work. That's why Sindarov plays king h2. It's Kasparov-like move to move away your king in the center and then start the attack. Now he wants to come queen f6, queen h6, and of course, Gukesh spotted this with queen b6. He's offering the queen trade, and if you come here, what he's going to do? Queen to d4 once again. You need to go here and then queen g7 once again. Very nice way to come back to defend the queen. We defend the king with the queen. So in the game he goes queen e2, but once again queen comes to d4. So if this queen comes here, then it's very bad. But I'm not sure if this time is correct because this clock sometimes doesn't show it correctly. But Gukesh has so much low on time, and now the queen is coming back. In this position, Gukesh himself said after the game that queen h5 was the position. He basically analyzed from here. And he says queen h5 is what he saw. And after queen g7, maybe g4. Engine thinks that it's still completely okay because you can play rook d8 and create your own counterplay. Because if you take here, then at some positions you can go for queen g6. White can win back the pawn, but it's nothing so much for white. Sindarov, seeing all this, he just took on e4. Like, he probably saw that queen h5 is not going anywhere, and Gukesh doesn't have so much time, so now let's go and checkmate him. And he just takes on e4. But it's a blunder according to chess.com. I will say it's a bad tactic in this position. But what Gukesh said, that he said, we both of us realized that we prefer to be black in this position. Black is better because this queen is coming back to g7. And the only chance is to play put some dynamics in the position. And the dynamics was probably even here g4 or play queen h5 and then g4. But knight d4 is too much because black can just simply take back. And after f5, he has bishop c8. He cannot put the bishop here because after rook d1, the bishop will be lost. But he has bishop c8. So this is what Sindarov relies on. He says, okay, now his pieces are not developed. I can go and attack. But what Gukesh saw is that in every single position, he can put his queen on f6 and he can stop all of this nonsense. There is nothing to be worried about. And if white goes for f6, then okay, what are you going to do? Like, this is one of the lines that black can play. Not the only line, but this is one of the lines. And e3. And after here, you might think that it's checkmate, but no, the queen just comes back. This queen is very loyal to this king, and she always comes back. And here, here white is just completely lost in this position. So this is what Gukesh saw, and he said, okay, I'm going to win this game. And then Sindarov plays here, and then queen goes for f6. Queen takes e4. He won another pawn, but now rook d8. Maybe queen e5 was better, but not necessary. Rook d8 is also good. Take take, queen e8 check, and king to g7. And this is, Sindarov is continuing the attack. He wants to go to rook g4 and go for checkmate. And in this position, Gukesh was very honest. He says, I was about to take on f5, and at last seconds, I realized that he has queen b5. It can happen. A queen b5 is just going to win this one. And why he wanted to play like this? Because g4 doesn't work. We have queen d6, pinning the rook, and black is going to win. But queen b5 attacks this bishop, and after that, white is completely winning. And I mean, practically white is much better, but its engine is saying it's draw. But Gukesh found the best defensive move. He's showing some class in this position. h5 is just going to defend well. And now queen e2. Maybe king h1, but in this position, white is a piece down, and to play king h1, the idea is just basically go for g4, to go out of this diagonal, and then, but it's very difficult to play king h1 in this position. Comes back queen e2, he wants to find something to attack, but now bishop d7. I'm going to develop back the pieces. Queen h5, okay, do whatever you want. I'm just bringing the pieces back into the game. Rook h4. In this position, he could have taken here, and there is nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this. Because if you come back with rook f4, I have bishop g6. And if you take, I will take here. And then I will run away with the bishop, and black is a piece up. But it's just black has, they are both under 30 seconds, and he just plays rook e8, which is completely winning, of course. Engine says white should have traded the queens like this, and he has probably some very small chances, but I don't think, because these pawns, because of these pawns. But I guess black is going to win this game. Black is going to win this game. He has enough play. But Sindarov plays queen g4, king f8, and he goes queen f4. He's basically just relying on the clock. But rook e2 is coming, infiltrating the second rank, and he just takes on a2. And after queen to e3, he just plays queen b2, pinning everything. And here you can go queen f3, but after that, knight d5. And whenever black can play queen takes g2, even in this position, because if you take back, I have knight f3 check. And after king here, I have check. If queen g1 is checkmate, but of course, this is also nice. Black is just so many pieces up. So white is just going for here, and here Sindarov realized that if you give a check, he will just go here and it's checkmate. So he decides to move to play on. He's a piece down, but he just decides to play on. Gukesh pushes on the queen side. Now Sindarov's only chance is to come with this h-pawn. So Gukesh is also creating this. And yes, this is winning, but in time trouble, it's very hard to convert. King g3, a4. Rook a8, a3. He's just coming. h4 and knight d5. In some positions, he might want to take here. Bishop to d5, and now bishop to c6, just challenging this bishop. h5, taking, and rook a1. So black wants to come after this pawn. And after h6, he just finds a very professional decision. He just plays rook g1 check. And he says, okay, if you're going here, okay, rook h1 probably in this position. And if you're going to take here, okay, just take it. I will take here, I'm a piece up, and the game is over. So Sindarov goes up to find some ideas. Gukesh was very proud to found f6, but yeah, that's a great move actually. But rook takes g4 is also possible in this position because there is no king e5 because of f6 checkmate. So you need to come back, and then rook h4 exists, f6 exists, black is winning completely. In the game, Gukesh plays f6. And now the problem is you cannot also take on a3 because there is skewer in this position, skewering the rook. So that's not possible. In the game, Sindarov just tries h7, but after knight coming back to f7, it's all over. Because if you make a queen, I will just take it. Whom taking him cannot take it with the rook. And rook a4 is winning completely. Rook behind the passer, a2, a1 is coming, and black is going to win this game. And this is how Gukesh Dommaraju defeated Sindarov in this game. Well-deserved victory. He played well. Sindarov didn't show what he was doing in the candidates in this game. He played a nice opening idea. Yeah, he got very good compensation, maybe in this position even castle, but good enough. In this position, queen c2 was not the best move, and after that, black was a little bit better in my eyes. But then Gukesh also played very well. He found these defensive ideas, but this knight d4 is too much. Maybe at the heat of the moment he thought that his opponent time is so little and he can find some ideas, but Gukesh just defended very well, and he showed that he's capable of winning these positions, and he showed this class actually in this game. We saw some kind of Gukesh that we used to see before, like 2 years ago, and he showed some of that class. It shows that there are 2 more blitz games in this event that they are going to play. Both of them are not doing so good in the event. Actually, Gukesh drew his game after this game very quickly with Wesley. So the leader of the event with 9 points is leading this event. Hans Niemann is doing great. Gukesh with this draw, he became third, but probably after the results he will be fourth, fifth, I don't know, something like this. But not worse than that. Maybe fourth, yeah. Maybe he will be fourth or fifth. Or even third is possible. But there are big names in this event, and Sindarov is number 7. But this is a very close run, and there are so many games. Sindarov is still doing good. Like he drew 2 games, won 1 and lost 2 games to Wesley and Gukesh Dommaraju. So before Gukesh he also lost to Wesley. It's rapid, it's not classical chess, but he doesn't show his power, the power that he had in the candidates. Maybe he now also feels the pressure because there were some grandmasters like Judith Pulgar was saying that she was there, and she was saying that I see a lot of pressure on Sindarov in his face and in his actions. So it might be the case that also Sindarov now is under pressure. I don't know. I would like to hear from you. Please write down in the comments. And if you like this kind of videos, please subscribe to CM Shah Chess Academy.